just point out that our store is kind of a little bit of a unique one because at Rochester Community Foundation, there's been kind of an explicit engagement around equity as a primary goal area for us for almost the last decade. And so, and that really kind of body of work was initiated by bringing the exhibit Race, Are We So Different to Rochester, which at the time was our largest single grant that we had done to bring the exhibit, and it initiated a flurry of activity with a number of partners to start the conversation. I think what's exciting now is that the conversation is really kind of continuing to evolve into action. And particularly the action that's informed by, again, this kind of historical reference point, so that we're responding to the unique concerns in our community. And so I would definitely urge folks to really, take that time to get to know the specifics. There's some national tropes that I think we're all familiar with as it relates to racial equity, but digging in on the specifics of your community is a gold mine of insights to start to really make actual headway on racial equity.
I would just add one, and I'm interested about, I know Deborah has a good bird's eye view of all of this as well. I think, for the DCF, we have been, similarly, equity has been kind of a priority focus area for several years, with still definition needed about what that means. And especially over the last 8 months, it's really, to a year, it's becoming, something that is a foundation of all that we do. So rather than a focus area, something across the board. And I would say a big part of that transition has been the last 8 months, and the response, the community need that we've seen in response to COVID, and how we see the issues of inequity through that, through the pandemic, really rising up and just exacerbating all the inequities, and just a realization that it's got to be in something that we do across the board, how we approach things, how we support the community. So I would say, yeah, that the last 8 months it's really dialed up because we've seen it in action.
Yeah, and I would echo all of that. I would say, in the past few years, what I think I've seen is that this is about impact. And if we really want to move the needle on some outcomes, some community outcomes, we've got to address racial equity. And I think more and more community foundations are recognizing that. I think some of you heard Helene Gale say on our webinar that, without doing this work, you're not going to be relevant going forward as our demographics change and so much. So, but I think there've been some real leaders, I think, in the field. I also think we can thank some of the national funders who have been supporting, for example, philanthropy serving organizations to really help philanthropy itself to do this work more. So Borealis Funders Group. So I just think, and I think now community is speaking loudly. And if we are, as community foundations, if we are listening, this is something that community is demanding, and no surprise.